Today we are interviewing the now president of Baüme after Jameson Gushyan resigned. And now the official president of the nation is now. Introduce yourself.
My name is McLean.
Say it again. Sorry, you cut out.
My name is Aiden McLean.
Okay. The people would like to know, what do you plan on doing with the nation? What kind of things do you plan on bringing to the table financially, economically, publicly, politically? Anything really?
Well, I will probably um, put more federal laws in place with because our original president Jameson did not do very well on that. So I'm gonna fix that up and try to get us more official laws.
Get more get more official laws.
Law.
Laws, you say, like an example.
Well, we don't necessarily have an age like the age to drink alcohol. Obviously, I highly doubt people will be doing that in the nation, but we don't have an age for that. We don't have an age for like it's gonna be weird, but for like consent or an age to drive a motorized vehicle. So I'll probably put those laws in place. Um, Motorized vehicle will be 16, alcohol 28, and consent 20.
What do you have to say about Jameson Gushyan resigning and you taking up the mantle of the first chair president?
I think it was needed because if we're going to be, fairness, Jameson didn't really do anything with the nation. It was me that moved it forward.
And why do you believe this? How come? I mean, after all, you were the second chair president up until a few hours ago, if not a few days ago. Not knowing what your public stance was a few days ago. So why didn't you just act upon that sooner?
Well, I could have pushed him to resign, but I didn't because he's what I saw is he seemed to enjoy it. So I didn't actually know he was debating quitting until he actually did. And when he did, um, I was pretty happy because that needed to happen.
Would you say that you were would you say, if, and this is speaking from the people's perspective, not my perspective, did you have any plans to overthrow Jameson Gushyan?
Kind of.
If this
During
question
the
if this question does not suit the public, then that is completely understandable. This will be probably censored.
during the Jeshia conflict, he was constantly fighting with Jeshia instead of our own nation. So during that point, I was thinking that if we're not going to have a president who's going to lead us, then we shouldn't have a president that's going to do that. We need someone who's willing to fight for the country, not to kind of be weak over some very minute nation that no longer exists.
Okay. What what economical um uh my apologies, I'm looking at my notes. What kind of economical growth or decline do you think you'll have, if any?
Well, as we know, Mr. Jameson didn't do any economic plans, but I'm planning on changing that. Um, which is a good reason why you ask. We'll probably do collective like funds, if that makes sense. We will have a time where everyone can pitch in money. We're not going to force it though, but we're just going to like request that they do because you know um, we all kind of do this for free. Um, so yeah, we might just have like a donation time.
Would this be online or physically or
Um,
merchandising?
a little bit of all. Definitely with merchandising. I think I want to start selling some mini flags to our allies. Maybe same with some bigger flags, but definitely more in person. If I could, because over the internet could work. It's just that the process for it is so much longer. For a person to set up a what's not or not a what's not account, a um, GoFundMe account and get all their information on there, they'll be uninterested rather than just someone putting $5 in to a donation bid.
Okay, all right. Um, to your post, only let's see, only a few minutes or half an hour ago. What what would you on the pool that you made in Instagram and all that? For the ones who said, and I quote, "Death to McLean," what is your response to them?
Well, I confronted one of them and they said it was a misclick, even though I highly doubt it was. Um, they can have their own opinions for now until I get rid of that. But uh, honestly, I could be less affected by it.
Okay, let's talk about the military aspects. Would Are you going to be upgrading the military in any sort of way? Ammunition, guns, militarization, air support, anything?
Well, I'm currently trying to push for a lot of Jashia's former members to come join the Republic, especially those that like airsoft, because I mean, kind of a win-win situation. They're still going to be a part of a microstate, one that's not flawed, but they also like get to do airsoft, which airsoft is pretty fun. I mean, taken from experience, I find it really fun, and a lot of their members enjoy airsoft also.
Okay.
So I think we're going to expand our recruitment. Actually, former President Jameson Guccione is willing to help recruit.
And in fact, what is your opinion on that specific situation?
The Jameson situation.
The him taking over the military.
Um, I think he should still have a political say in everything.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Everybody gets their own say. Um, what plans do you have for the future, as in like conquering or better yet, taking over, destroying communist parties? What plans in the future do you have?
Well, I am going to attempt to be peaceful until peace doesn't work. Um, Conquering territories. I know we've already started over in Laurel, expanding our sphere of influence. So we can just keep doing that. Then I think everything should be good. Um, we don't really have any enemies as of right now. I mean, we obviously have um, former Jeshian militant groups. Obviously, their nation fell a few weeks ago, which is good for me because now I don't have to deal with that. And I'm glad Jameson was able to sort through it. being part Jesuit himself.
So, kind of going a little off topic and back to the Jameson Gushon um, situation. Back in a few days ago, you stated that Jameson Gushon has resigned, but not for the reason that everybody was thinking. People were stating that he was questioning his own sexuality and that he was communicating with the other side um and in the recent post that on Instagram on the Republic's account you said that um he resigned due to overwhelming pressure from being the president. So what is your saying that what's going on there?
So this is a bit more difficult of a situation because what happened with Jameson is he basically started off by questioning his sexuality, which, as we know, in the Republic is not something we tolerate. And coming from our president, it was really frightening. And it was actually a palm to get himself out of office because, surprisingly, the president does not know, he did not know his own constitution at the time, which um, I wouldn't blame him. I don't think Trump or Biden knew the American Constitution, like by heart, nor did he, and he did not have access to it, which was kind of my fault because at the time I was the second chair president and I actually held all the records. So he was not able to see the fact that he was able to resign willingly. But I believe it was from a further instance back in January, or no, it was February, where the Jessians raided our fort, and I took response and initiated the military to go fight them, and they fought outside a compound. And during that time, he was so overwhelmed that he just said, "I'm going to resign." And I said, "You can't do that because we are in the middle of a war now." And even though no declaration of war was ever signed, it was basically a war. I mean,
It was pretty.
gunfire was exchanged,
So,
but no declaration was ever made.
so it was pretty clear that you guys were in active combat during that time, and that people got injured, but not so severely. I'm going to assume, and nobody. I'm again going to assume due to YouTube moderation, nobody was very fatally wounded, as in crippled or possible tombstone. So that's what I can only assume. And if I heard you correctly, he wanted to resign during this time.
Positive. And with the conflicts, no one was severely injured, although some people did. It was really costly. A lot of damage was taken to vehicles.
Oh, vehicles, as in
Um,
military vehicles or private vehicle?
a bit of both.
A bit of both. Okay, that's. I mean, those are the consequences of war. Um.
Hmm.
Okay. Here's another question. What what's we saw that. Yes, of course, you became first chair president, but what are you looking for the second chair president again? Coming from, of course, the audience and the community of Baüme, what are you looking for in the second chair president, and how he or she can benefit from benefit the nation? How can this? What are you looking for?
Well, me and a few of the members of the party have already kind of simultaneously decided on who we want it to be. Um, but we're looking for someone who's like really into the nation, someone who's patriotic, obviously, but someone who's willing to fight for the nation, someone who is a veteran of war for the state, which those are really hard to come by
Mm,
in Boima because of, well, a lot of them, uh, most of them make it, but a lot of them aren't necessarily as active as this one individual, he or she.
mm.
Um, and I've obviously talked to the first lady about it, and she thinks he's a good pick. So,
Speaking of the first lady, how do you how exactly does the first lady tie into these political and economical and basically everything? How will she be able to help again? Not coming from, I mean, sorry, coming from of course the community of Boima and the civilians. How could she benefit, and how would she benefit? I mean, of course, she's most likely in the other territory that you've taken over. How can that benefit?
well, yeah, she is in Laurel, that area, and she's been helping, obviously, assist me. And this might sound a bit weird, but like kind of calming me down, especially on my political rants. I'm glad that she is the first lady. Obviously, because she's my girlfriend, but also because she has almost the same political ideas of me, except the only issue really is she is congregational, I am Catholic, and one of the main ideas of Boima is a total Catholic state. So I think I just gotta. I'm not gonna convert her, but I think I'll just kind of tell her a bit more about it because as of now, she doesn't know much about Catholicism, and I don't really think she minds learning. But I also know that with most congregational churches, they tend to well, they tend to kind of hate on the Catholic Church. So
Yes. Okay, going back to the roots here of like the benefits of the nation from you being first chair president. How do you want the civilians to see you? Do you want them to see you as a man to rely on, a man to come to when in need, or a man that is going to jump straight into actions, no question asked?
um,
Are you gonna be peaceful? How's it gonna go?
well, I think I will be like a father. I will make sure that my nation is safe, and I will try using it diplomatically. But also like a dad, if my child is in danger, I will use force. So I want them to see me as a father figure, kind of, because I believe I will be doing the nation a deed that a father you can see doing. Um, Obviously, one of my first decrees, my first public decree will be that I will be removing entirely all the foreign parties in the state. The American Conservative Party, the American Democrat Party, and the Boyman. Well, it's a co-owned party between the two states. The Boyman and the American Bradleyist Party will be removed, and the former Bushist Party, which was in power prior to the transitional stage, will also be removed.
I do, in fact, from my own perspective, have a question about the Bradley's party. I heard that he is enemy of the states, or of yeah, of the state. And well, if the Bradley's party is run by an enemy of the state, why? How come it's a party? It should not be a party if it's the enemy of the state is, you know, the enemy of
Well,
the state.
I can't personally classify what's a party and what's not a party. A political party is a group of people that have a certain belief and they all believe in it, like the Nationalist Workers' Party, which believes in Stalinism and national syndicalism. And I can't deny them the rights to being a political party because they are what a political party is, a group of people who have a belief, and their belief is one that I don't personally agree with, which is democratic socialism. And I somewhat agree with this, but total human rights for everyone, which I believe everyone has the right to have, you know, life. But I do not believe that I don't know how to put this, that a everyone is equal to each other. This doesn't mean like does not have to do with race or gender. I just mean like a priest is probably more e- is he's more than a
More, more,
random
more,
person.
more important. You mean like
Yeah,
right?
yeah, more important. I'm not saying that people aren't important, like, but like in who we need to protect, I would put a priest in front of that of um I don't know,
The would you
an
say?
average businessman.
Oh, it's quite low in my own opinion, of course. But we're of course here because of you. So if yeah, how do you where do you see in of course your do you think your first decree wait, have you already said your first decree? If you have not, do not put it on here. But have you said your first decree as first chair president?
I've already kind of made it. I'm just saying that I'm going to probably get rid of the political parties.
Oh, okay. So, how do you think people would respond to that, negatively or positively? Like, what kind of political figure do you think after you saying that publicly and socially or something? How do you think the people of Boima would see you after you state your first decree?
Well, I know many of them will still look at me like um probably I don't know how to put this. I know the faithful ones will definitely still see me as a good leader, but the ones who are rebellious will probably see me as a dictator, which I don't really like that word. Um,
Yeah, me neither.
because I mean, we'll still have elections, I believe,
Hmm.
and um, just because I'll have almost total control of the state doesn't mean that I will be um, necessarily bad. I mean, there's some good people in history who've had total control of the state.
That's true. That's true. And would yeah, I agree. Going back to the war topic, if hypothetically, of course, obviously it's hypothetical. This will most likely never happen. If someone were to invade the main, let's say oblast or main base or fort, how would you respond? How would you respond to that? And how do you think the people will see you after you respond in such a way?
Well, if someone does, in theory, invade like the alkali region or oblast, it really depends on. Um, well, yeah, with the saying of region and oblast, it really just depends on where you're from in Boima. If you're from the Martinsk Oblast, you'll probably say Oblast. If you're from the Alkali one, you'll probably say region. But I think if there was a direct invasion, I would probably fight back. I mean, what like are you asking? Like, how would I fight them off? Or
Well, yes, you said you were a man of a man of peace, a man of peace, and you would go peace offering first. But if someone were to attack the main area of the main, let's say, capital, if someone were to attack in the heart, how would you approach that? Would you jump immediately to violence, guns and blazing, or would you approach them peacefully and come to a means and basically make a treaty or a alliance, or would you, in theory, attack their heart, if not their life?
well, let's say, in theory, that these people, um, because we all know Bournemouth's a pretty diverse state. I mean,
Well, yeah, of course.
um, spread all over Montana, a bit in Wyoming, a bit in Florida, which is a pretty big jump, but it's
Salt
spread out a
Lake.
lot. Yeah, it's spread out a lot. And if they did go for the heart, though, there is no diplomacy, especially if they've already begun to fight us. There is really no diplomacy that can be done except to retaliate, and that would be to just push them out and keep pushing till we get to their capital. Then diplomacy can be made once we're the ones in charge, because if they are the ones that have the upper hand, we will most likely bow to what they say instead of them bowing to what we say.
So, a man of reason, I see.
Yeah, a bit.
Yeah. um. So, how would you? What kind of future do you see in Boimo with you being first chair president and obviously the future second chair president, who we do not know yet? How where do you see Boima in, let's say, a year, 2 years, maybe even four? How about let's go with two. Where do you see Boima within 2 years from now?
Well, I'll still see it under my control, I'm hoping. And I'll see it in probably the best shape ever. Especially that when I turn 18, it can be a bit more hard to manage. And if that time comes and I need to pass it on, I'll probably pass it on to my brothers.
Hmm. Okay, that's very interesting. Your brothers.
Hmm.
What would that age be exactly? I mean, of course you're turning 18. Like, would you say passing it on to them? What like 16?
Yes, the second oldest would be 16, and the third oldest, I believe, would be 14.
Mm.
So 14 was the same age I was when it was first founded. Well, the military was first founded,
Oh yeah.
and 16 is my current age.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay. Um. Okay. So we've already reached the 30-minute mark. We might continue this another time, maybe here and there, like updates on Boima. But one last question. Okay,
Yep.
what what made you join Boima, and what made you truly love it the way you do? and
Well,
and be so committed?
I never joined it. Me and Jameson were the first to found it.
Or
So,
yeah, founded it.
by us founding it, I um, kind of, I don't know, I thought myself of a future Kevin Ba of Malasia, if I might have fumbled his last name, or the Sultan of Slowjamistan. Um, I always kind of thought myself like that would be really cool, even if it goes from being a microstate to a legitimate nation, which the likelihood of that is very low. But I've thought of the possibilities, and it's never 0% chance. But I've always kind of thought of myself as a leader. I've never really wanted to be in the spotlight, though, especially with the Republic. I've always kind of wanted to be the guy in the background while Jameson took all the glory. But it came to a point where he wasn't doing anything at all, so it was really just me.
You
And
had
the
a
majority of our alliances have been signed by me.
okay. So in and with all due respect to Jameson Gouchon, you were kind of explaining like you were always kind of the president, but never truly given the title. I mean, of course, you in the Instagram post it said that he was overwhelmed by all the presidency and responsibilities, but in theory, you've always been head first, nose first. I mean, kind of always there for the nation, and kind of I guess its leader, of course, still Jameson Gouchon, while he was first chair president, was first chair president. But now that you are first chair president, do you feel any more weight on your shoulders?
Um, Aside from all the speeches and all the public appearances, not really. I mean, it's a bit worrying that I'll have to be more like in the spotlight because I am more of a guy that tries to stay away. I always kind of kept my face hidden. Obviously, not, well, when I'm on calls with Larsonia, I'll show my face, but with others, I was always kind of hidden. I don't even think a majority of our allies know. I always wear sunglasses, a hat. I try not to show my face. Even in that Instagram post, my back was turned. Um, I'd like to remain semi anonymous, but that will probably change. I'll still always wear my sunglasses though.
Yes, of course. But what about like when you truly have to make a true public appearance, such as that giant microstate, like the biggest one? What if Boima becomes that, but even bigger? What I mean, obviously your public image would have to be kind of perfect, I guess. But I mean, technically you'd be kind of like I guess my best bet is kind of like a
I'll make my public appearances and all that. It's just I don't necessarily want to. I don't want my face to be the face that Boima thinks of. Or when people think of Boima, I don't want to be like the first image that they see, like aside from our flag. I want it to be more of the people in it. Um, I mean, when you search up America, you don't see a picture of Trump. You see a picture of the beauty of America,
yeah.
um, and since we're at such a small scale, I don't want to be, you know, just known for me leading it. Like,
You want it to be more
it,
of an idea.
yeah, I mean, and our ideas travel as far as what Havre down to Pasco County in Florida. I mean, the idea is out there. I just don't. I'm okay with being the face of the idea. I don't want to be the face of the um,
Nation.
the movement.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to be the face of the movement. I want the banner and the probably Christ to be the symbol of the movement.
Mm, okay. And okay, that's a very interesting take. Uh, okay. Well, before I lose a lot of storage on my phone, it was very nice talking to you, first chair president, and I hope this, and hopefully, and take your time, of course, but of course you'll make a public appearance here soon, I no doubt.
Yep. We're shooting for August 2nd. And if that doesn't work,
Mm,
we'll probably push it back to my birthday.
okay. All right. Well, thank you, Mr. President, for your time, and I will maybe contact you again, maybe in a few months or something. I don't know.
All right. Thank you for having me.
No problem. See ya.
All right.